What's going on, everyone, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be going over my top 10 list for New Comic Book Day, July 27th, 2022. This was a massive week for new books, but my shop got hit by Diamond again, and we got shorted on so many titles. I wasn't able to get the new Amazing Spider-Man issue, the variants, Genis Vell. We even got shorted on a lot of indie titles. One in particular, I wasn't able to grab Titan Comics' new one, Bloodborne. I was pretty bummed about it, but I still managed to grab 12 total issues this week, so you know what that means. 2 of them did not make this week's top 10 list, and I'm very excited to talk about them with you guys, so let's jump right into it. Alright everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic day and you were able to grab all of your New Comic Book Day issues on time. Real quick before I get started on the 2 issues that did not make this week's top 10 list, my next Omnibus giveaway is at 9,000 subscribers and we were getting very close to that, so if you do not want to miss out on that, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Now, as always, as I begin to talk about these books, just be aware, there's definitely going to be spoilers. I get very excited talking about these books. I let some stuff slip up or I go a little bit more in depth than I would like to, but I do put a little spoiler tag down below to give you a heads up that a spoiler is about to happen. So these 2 books, I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with them. The first one that didn't make this week's top 10 list is Dynamite's new one. We've got Vampirella, Year 1, Issue number 1. This is cover B. I honestly did like the issue, but I'm putting it outside of my top 10 list because I've never read a Vampirella issue before. This is my very first one, and honestly, overall, I think they did a very good job with it. But I can't truly appreciate what they're doing with this series right now because I've never read anything. I don't know anything about her character. I don't know any sort of backstory, but I like the artwork. And as far as this first issue goes, this whole series is going to be her origin story. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with that. And as a new reader, I didn't feel lost at all. I felt I was able to jump into the story, get some knowledge, and just kind of see her upbringing as to why she's on Earth and how she got to Earth. So as I said, I like this issue, but I'm putting it outside of the top 10 list for that reason. Those books were also just that good this week. The other one that didn't make this week's top 10 list, we've got Marvel's Venom, issue number 9. This is cover A. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we've got 2 separate writers on this story. We've got Al Ewing, Ram V. Maybe it's just not meshing with me, but I'm just not a fan of this Venom series right now. I don't particularly care about Dylan's side of everything, and then when we move back to Eddie's side, his stuff's gone kind of a weird turn as well. So, I don't know. I'm definitely going to be continuing on with this series. One thing that I did like about this issue, and honestly, it really wasn't that bad. It's just overall, I'm not a fan of the just grand scheme of the series right now. We kind of got to see Eddie just behind the scenes. Everything that he's been doing, he had some conversations with Kang the Conqueror, and now he's just kind of going through time, trying to just save Dylan. I like that, but just, I don't know, like I said, I don't care about Dylan's side of the story at all, and when Eddie is there, his story's just alright at best as well. And now, let's jump to the real top 10 list. And here we go, everyone. Kicking this top 10 list off first, we've got coming in at number 10. This is Images, Radiant Black, issue number 16. This is cover A. I thought this issue was all right, and I'm going to be real with you. I'm kind of losing interest in the Radiant Black series as of late. I feel as though 16 issues deep, they're really introducing a lot of characters, a lot of different plot points, and the plot points just really aren't all that well developed, like this issue. It's still Nathan, we still have Marshall, they're hashing everything out, they were best friends, one of them's the Radiant Black character, the other one's not now, the other one's in communication with that kind of radiant being, and the other one's not being communicated with them. It's just a lot of stuff, and they're not really developing some of these other characters, like the Radiant Red series. I thought that was fantastic, and I like how they're focusing on that character in that little series. But this one, it feels as though it's all over the place. In this issue in particular, a ton of action and a bunch more characters. The action is very cool. I really enjoy the artwork as well, but going forward with this series, I kind of wanted to just kind of focus on 1 or 2 plot points and expand it from there after it's a little bit more developed. I don't know if that's just me. Let's talk about it more down below. But for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 10 this week, we have Images, Radiant Black, issue number 16. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 9. This is Images, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 10. This is cover A. So I've talked a lot of crap on this series as the issues progress, but I'm going to be real with you. It's really grown on me. I think they're doing a great job with it, just the character development. But the one thing about this series that if you're not reading it, you don't know, it really focuses on the artwork and just the expressions and the emotions of the characters. And after that, I think 6th or 7th issue where kind of all hell broke loose between Sonny and that bad guy, That's when I really felt attached. And now I just want to see them live out their lives. He's still protecting Xavier. I want to just see them make it. This issue, like a lot of the other ones, not a lot of dialogue. You really have to focus on the characters. A ton of action. That's pretty much what this entire issue was. Sonny got himself into a little bit of trouble towards the end. I'm not going to be spoiling anything. Give it a read. If not, definitely wait for a trade paperback. You honestly can read it in one sitting because, like I said, not a lot of dialogue. It really focuses on the characters' expressions, and I do really like that. But for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 9 this week, we have Images, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 10. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 8. This is Boom Studios, House of Slaughter, issue number 7. This is cover A. This issue isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, but it still was very good in its own way. We've got our brand new character, Edwin, and if you can recall from the last issue, we learn a lot about him, what his job is in the House of Slaughter, and you learn he's not a hunter. He has never killed monsters, he's never been out in the field, but now he finds himself in this situation. He got a new task, and he's supposed to be out in the field, but he doesn't exactly know where to go with it. He's checking on something that happened, and I thought they were going to expand on that, but instead, we got just him, and it's really focusing on him as a character. He's out at sea, and it's just him, and if you're reading Something is Killing the Children, you know Erica, she has that little octopus. His is a paintbrush, and he's telling the paintbrush a story. I really like that story, and just kind of how he told it. And that's honestly all it was. Like I said, it's kind of a deep dive on this character. I know they're going to expand on it, and now the next issue, I'm really excited to see where they go with it, and I'm sticking to it. If you didn't read issues 1 through 5 of House of Slaughter, if you haven't read any Something is Killing the Children, well, if you haven't read that, you're going to be a little lost. But you can pick up 6 and 7 and just have an understanding of what's going on in this new arc. Let me know what you thought about it, and for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 8 this week, we have Boom Studios, House of Slaughter, issue number 7. And now we've got coming in at number 7 this week, this is Marvel's brand new series. We've got Ant-Man issue number 1. This is cover A. It's written by Al Ewing. I was very excited for this one, and it did not let me down at all. I loved how it was written. We've got the future and we've got the past, but when they're talking about the past, so it's going to have some spoilers. We've got Hank Pym right on the front cover. When he's in the issue, it's all in the past. Just the dialogue, the text bubbles, even the paper, it's got a little bit of a yellow tinge to it, so they're trying to hint on that it's just, from back in the day. I loved it. It went so well with the story that they were telling. There is also a first appearance in there. We've got a futuristic Ant-Man. So this whole series, this is where I said the spoilers are going to happen. The whole series is kind of most likely going to have something to do with Kang the Conqueror because they're dealing with time. I'm excited for it. I know it's not a new ongoing, it's just going to be a limited series. If you had a light week, definitely check this one out. It's a very fun read, especially if you're a Tales to Astonish fan, you're going to like this one as well. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 7 this week, we have Ant-Man issue number 1. Folks, next up, we've got coming in at number 6 this week. This is AWA's Hit Me, issue number 5. This is a variant cover, and for those of you reading this one, this is the series finale. Honestly, I think they did a really good job wrapping it up. I really enjoyed this issue. Overall, I really enjoyed the series as well. Lulu, Danny, very fun characters, and this issue is basically, like I said, everything has been built up to this. In the last top 10 list where I reviewed issue number 4, I talked about how I thought overall it was a really good issue. Definitely the most boring one, but it was a ton of plot building. Everything that happened in that issue helped create this issue. They did such a great job with the storytelling. Read this one for yourselves. I always talk about it. If you're not a fan of finding the back issues, AWA is fantastic with releasing just trade paperbacks. Grab that one when it does come out. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 6 this week, we have AWA's Hit Me, issue number 5. And now we're down to our top 5 issues of the week, folks. We've got coming in at number 5 this week. This is DC's Detective Comics, issue number 1062. This is cover A, the first issue with Ram V writing. You guys have convinced me. You said you need to pick it up, and I saw it, looked at the artwork, and I mean, Ram V's writing it. I thought I definitely need to grab it, and it did not let me down. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have never read a Detective Comics issue in my life. I'm very just not knowledgeable on Batman to begin with. I'm not that knowledgeable on DC. I tell you guys all the time. I'm not going to lie to you about characters I know and just stuff that I do and don't know. I go into this a little blindly. As far as a new reader goes, I thought it was very friendly to jump into. Not a lot of story as far as stuff I felt lost on. It all felt new. It all felt fresh. Nightwing makes an appearance. Obviously, Batman's in there busting some ass on some bad guys. Talia makes an appearance as well. But as far as the rest of it goes, not a ton of story. But the first issue got me very intrigued. I want to hear your opinions on it, especially Batman fans. Maybe I missed something, but keep me posted on it. And for those reasons, we absolutely have coming in at number 5 this week, we have DC's Detective Comics issue number 1062. Now we've got coming in at number 4, this is Image's Hellcop, issue number 9. This is cover A. This is a series that continues to surprise me. I kind of picked up issue number 1 on a whim. I think it was a little bit lighter of a week. Thought the artwork was pretty cool. The story had me hooked, but I wasn't really sold on it. Couple issues deep, I said, it's gotten better. I like it. We're going to see how the arc ends, and maybe I'll pick up the next one and see where that goes. I really like the end of that arc. Absolutely love the second arc. I don't think this is a new arc, but the way the last one ended, and they kind of introduce a new plot point in this one, and that's going to be very cool as well. But the other thing, if you did read the last arc, this one continues on with that. If you remember just the whole kind of story side of everything with John Lennon and that guy kind of stealing his music from hell, that's where this one is. A very fun another issue. And like I said, this one continues to surprise me. It's went from, all right, I'll grab Hellcop to, yes, another Hellcop issue is coming out. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 4 this week, we have Image's Hellcop, issue number 9. And now, coming in at number 3, this is Image's Radiant Red, issue number 5. This is cover A. This is the series finale. And I know I just got done talking some crap on the Radiant Black series, but from start to finish, Radiant Red was an incredible little mini-series. I love everything that they did with Satomi, the build-up to this very end issue, and everything from issues 1 through 4 has led to the moment in this 5th issue. And I love how they just kind of dove a little bit deeper into her personality. We finally got to see her be her. Everything that she's been, penting up this whole time, finally released in this issue. We got some awesome action, and honestly, we got a lot of closure between some of the other plot points with, her husband and just some of the other characters that she was dealing with. If you're a fan of Radiant Black, definitely need to read this one. If you're kind of on the fence with me, where you're like, Radiant Black, I'm getting a little bit bored of it as well, they do a great dive into the Satomi character, the Radiant Red. I think they, honestly, like I said, they did a great job with it. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 3 this week, we have Radiant Red, issue number 5. Down to our final 2 issues of the week. We've got coming in at number 2 this week. This is Image's F This Place, issue number 3. This is the F This Place explicit variant. This series continues to be awesome. I love the first and second issue, and now the third one. They're continuing to expand on the story. Every issue has brought something new to the table while still developing the plot, the characters. This one, the new thing that they kind of did with it is on the front cover, we've got a ghost hunter. He got brought to the farm and he got to see all of the ghosts, everything that is going on, and he got to tell a story of something that's crazy happened to him in the past with a whole nother little ghost story. That was a very cool little tale. But then everything that they talked about in the beginning of the series, like that horned monster, that monster made an appearance. They finally went into the woods and found out why they shouldn't be going into the woods either. If you were on the fence with this series, I've talked about it. I thought, in the solicitation, they said it's going to be a mix between Homesick Pilots and Gideon Falls, and I'm not really getting that vibe at all. But it's a very just unique story of its own. I'm a big fan of it. Definitely pick up those last couple issues. And for those reasons, we have coming in at number 2 this week, we have Image's F This Place, issue number 3. And here we go, everyone. This is it, my top read of the week. We've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is Boom Studios' Something is Killing the Children, issue number 25. This is a massive, oversized issue for the big 25th issue, and they did a phenomenal job with it. Everything about this issue from start to finish, and even though it was an oversized issue, I feel like I read it in 2 breaths. It was just, wow, this is fantastic. Everything that they did, all the characters. We got Erica, Gabby, Cutter was starting to do some of her crazy stuff, and the monster that they've been hyping up this entire new arc finally made a real appearance. We got to see it kill somebody, and it's a badass monster. I cannot wait to see how Erica handles it, how Gabby gets more involved. Cutter, like I said, she's doing some crazy stuff as well. Such a fun read. You need to buy the hardcover for this series. It's issues 1 through 15. If you missed out on the first 2 printings, they have a 3rd printing that came out as well. There's no reason you can't be reading this series. And for those reasons, we absolutely have coming in this week at number 1, taking the crown, Boom Studios, Something is Killing the Children, issue number 25. This was such another fantastic week of new comics. The indies absolutely killed it. Something is Killing the Children 25, taking the crown at number 1. F This Place, issue number 3, another solid issue. And I told you before, I have never read any issues before on Detective Comics or Vampirella. I'm expanding my horizons, trying some new stuff out, and I thought both those issues were great as well. I hope you were able to grab all of your issues. What did you pick up? What did I miss out on? And what was your number 1 read of the week? I want to hear it all down below in the comments section. Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the little bell to get notified. Every time I drop new videos, you won't regret it. I've got 2 more sitting off to the side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.